What up, everybody? This is the Broken Bat Podcast. We appreciate you guys stopping in to listen to some baseball talk. That's what we're here to do. My name's J-Rob. I got Kasey and Peter with me, and we are super stoked. Like, before the podcast, when we're getting together, getting ready to talk, you would not believe the energy we had. It was off the charts. We were going crazy. So we were just stoked to be here. But I'm going to let my boys take it over real quick. They're going to give you the information you need. So, Peter, what you got?
Absolutely. So we are currently on Instagram and Twitter at the Broken Bat Podcast with no spaces. Go ahead and give us a follow on there. You can see some interesting takes given.
Whoa, we lost Peter. Whoa,
Oh, no.
Peter, we lost you for a second. Repeat for me.
On Instagram and Twitter, Broken Bat Podcast, no spaces. We are also currently on YouTube, so you can see all of our beautiful faces, see some certain, maybe not the best looking City Connect hat you've ever seen, but it's in its debut this week. So, it's got a 9.5 rating from a certain member of the podcast, from one specific member. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't got a chance to have your eyes blessed with that beautiful sight. It'd be great. Make sure if you do listen to us on Spotify, Apple, wherever it is, give us a follow. We would greatly appreciate that. And it's awesome to see. So, Kasey, let them know what we're talking about today.
We don't have too much today. We got the power rankings, Peter's favorite night of the week.
Absolutely.
We're also talking about the weekend series. Kind of give you a little recap, dive into a couple games, and then the moment everyone wants to hear. Formerly known as Peter's performing player. We're just going to shout out a friend of the podcast. We're going to shout out some of our friends. Just give them the love they deserve. So, but I know there's a few comments made about Pete, or that Pete made about a certain City Connect hat that may or may not be worn on one of the three hosts of this podcast. I'm not going to name any names. I don't know. I think only one of our teams has a City Connect jersey. I don't know.
That's true.
Don't appreciate the slander of any City Connect jerseys. I think they're all beautiful in their own way, except for when certain teams get theirs. There are going to be some harsh ratings coming their way. Like mine. Fuck you, Pete.
You can't announce your bias already.
I haven't even seen him, and you're already saying they're going to get bad ratings.
Unbiased.
I didn't throw any names. I did. I said, Pete, you're wrong.
Pete. I hate you. I think we know where that's headed.
Maybe I'm in the clear. I don't know. Maybe we'll leave that up to interpretation. We'll see.
If you guys have also known,
a couple more times and it's over.
Yeah. No, you're gonna bring the fire out of me. Also talking about fire out of me, I was watching those beautiful jerseys in action on Friday. And we were in the 9th inning. We're trailing the Astros 6-4, and my boy Teoscar hits a nice hit, get the rally going. Well, then I remembered why I fucking hate him.
I thought
this douchebag is rounding the bag up first. Then he stumble, not even stumble. He just lets on the gas, and then I don't know what wild hair in his ass just pinched him. He just started going for a second, slides in, gets tagged out. They challenge play. He's clearly out, and I was like, this motherfucker. I literally just, I couldn't do it. Me and Teoscar got beef again. Don't make dumb mistakes on the base pass. You know how J-Rob feels about that. I know how I feel about that. Not about that bad base running life. Be better, Teoscar. Come on.
You know what? That's fair. But how you started, I think we're on the same pattern. Teoscar Hernandez got a hit. Boom. Positive. Rounds first base and goes for second, gets tagged out. Hate him again. It's the same pattern. I'm sure later in the episode or next episode, we're going to come around and you'll be like, man, you would not believe what Teoscar Hernandez did. He hit a dinger to win us the game. Sorry, not dinger. Piss missile to win us the game. It's what goes around comes around.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. I think you underestimate my relationship with Teoscar Hernandez.
Well, I don't know if I underestimate. There's literally factual proof on the internet. If you guys don't know, there's well, it's called a short because it's on YouTube, and technically a reel on Instagram of Kasey, View, my friend, going back and forth of, I love Teoscar, I hate Teoscar, I love Teoscar, I hate Teoscar. There's literally video proof of that on the internet. So it's a well documented.
I just don't know I don't know if I deserve this kind of slander from you boys. Just because I mean, you're not getting mad at Pete for Aaron Hicks. You can't tell me if Aaron Hicks. You can't tell me that if Aaron Hicks hit an absolute piss missile to win the Yankees against the Astros to go to the World Series or sweet revenge in the ALCS, that you can't tell me that Pete wouldn't be the biggest Aaron Hicks honk. He'd have that jersey ordered on.
I would jump on the podcast that night and say DFA Aaron Hicks. There is nothing that man can do to win me back to his side.
It's
over. Kasey, I think
it's over. It's
just Pete has been consistent with his stance. You have gone back and forth, I think, is where we're saying the difference is. On you love him, you love him, you hate him.
You don't have proof though. There's
literally video evidence.
Yeah,
you don't know where you record these.
Last time I checked, it had over 600 views. So over 600 people have seen the video proof of you going back and forth between them.
I'm literally looking right now.
Real quick, since you brought up my freaking DFA Aaron Hicks agenda, Aaron Hicks, before today's games, had 7 total bases in 57 plate appearances through the second inning of today's game. Entering today, there was 125 different players that had 7 total bases in one single game. Not 57 plate appearances, one goddamn game. DFA Aaron Hicks. You want some more fun Aaron Hicks stats?
Well, before we get into more Aaron Hicks, let's play the intro. You collect those because we're about 6 minutes in here, almost 7 minutes in here. We haven't played in the intro. People need to hear the intro. We're going to get into that. We're going by, I don't know what they call it, but we're just going off the whim or whatever. We're starting with Aaron Hicks tonight. That's what's happening. It's Aaron Hicks versus Teoscar Hernandez. It's a battle between Pete and Kasey. But before we get to that, please enjoy this beautiful remedy or rendition of the Broken Bat podcast put together by the members of the Broken Bat podcast.
Can I give a quick shout out real quick?
Please.
Let's go Yankees. Chase for 28.
True. Not that odd. That's like room temp take, but that's all right.
Oh, where's Shohei gonna go?
Obviously, I'm no GM or no Major League Baseball owner, but if I were,
as always, go Abs.
I can pronounce it however I want until he tells me personally when he comes and joins the pod as a friend of the pod.
Man, oh man, I'm never gonna get sick of that. I'm gonna be honest with you. That just sounds beautiful to me. That just serenades my soul. Anyways, before we took that break, before you heard that beautiful music, those hot takes, those clips from the cast, Peter, hit me with some more of those facts. I want to hear them.
Another fun Aaron Hicks fact is and this again before today's games hasn't been updated, but 4 players have had 40-plus plate appearances and 0 extra base hits. Aaron Hicks, 52 plate appearances, 0 extra base hits. I believe he had a double in today's game. Let me tell you, DFA Aaron Hicks. All day, every day. He could hit a walk-off grand slam, down 3 runs, bottom of the 7th inning, to win number 28. Complete the chase for 28. He could be the next Aaron Boone versus the Red Sox to send us to the series. DFA Aaron Hicks all day, every day.
Boom.
I know you have this fiery passion for Aaron Hicks, and I'm going to tell you why you don't want him on your team, as if you need any more fuel. So,
agreed. Whatever you say right now, you could say Rocktober, and I'll be on board.
Yeah.
So you're on board for October.
I thought this was going against each other, but Kasey's he's throwing gas on the fire.
I know. I don't know what's happening. I'm on board. Let's get slammed.
I did a side-by-side comparison of Teoscar and Aaron Hicks. of a few categories in offensive stats, and I was shocked about how bad Aaron Hicks is. So let me read off of the show notes.
I'm shocked
So
that you're shocked because Pete, every podcast episode, comes on here talking smack on Aaron Hicks about how bad he is, and you're shocked how bad he is.
How's that surprising to you? Or is it just because Teoscar's not bad and you're just hating on him?
That's what it is.
Teoscar's average at best. So I said what I said. Okay, so getting into it. Teoscar's batting, and this is only 2023 stats thus far. Teoscar's batting a cool 226 with 7 homers, 16 RBIs, and
an OPS
man has
of 7 homers, and you're complaining? Jesus Christ.
Of 686. I can't remember handwriting. Aaron Hicks is batting a whopping 143 on the season with 0 home runs, 2 RBIs, and an OPS of .374.
I'm honestly surprised he has 2 RBIs. That's the only surprising thing of that list that you read off.
So I can't say that I'm shocked.
Aaron Hicks, thank you.
Well, no, I have a theory. Okay, this is going to work out for you and for my my production, my movie I'm making, the Rocky Mountain Miracle.
What is about to happen?
So, sorry. Do you have any financial support for this movie yet, or is it just early stages?
It's early stages.
Okay.
I'm gonna have a Kickstarter here soon. Yeah, no. If you guys just let me get to the movie, you'll be thrilled with the dialogue.
Please, yes.
So it's called The Rocky Mountain Miracle, and it's about the 2013 Colorado Rockies charge into Rocktober. Okay, but here's the kick. In the film, there's about halfway through, the Yankees make a trade with the Rockies. They get cash considerations from the Rockies for Aaron Hicks. He goes on this amazing tear. He bats 800, 39 nukes, close to 90 RBIs in 70 games with the Rockies. They're marching into October. It's Game 7 in the Bronx. Aaron Hicks is up, needs a homer to win it, and he absolutely pimps the shit out of this home run to complete Rocktober. That's how the movie ends.
I mean, that's just the most made-up movie I've ever heard in my life. But I have nothing personally. I don't know Aaron Hicks, the man. Obviously,
you're gonna be blown away.
But as a baseball player, I don't know if I've ever disliked anyone more.
You're gonna be blown away when the opening credit says based on a true story. Pete's gonna just fist pump in the air in rage that this is a true story.
This is the contract of Aaron Hicks since his arbitration extension is what it is. He signed a 7-year, $70 million contract.
Absolute garbage.
$2 million signing bonus. Obviously, that averages $10 million a year, but it's not exactly $10 million a year. The club, so his contract runs through. He'll be a free agent in 2027, but there is a club option for 2026 with a $1 million buyout. But so yeah, that means season's still young, but you have all 2023, 2024, 2025. You still have 3 full seasons of Aaron Hicks. This year he's earning $10.5 million, and then the next 2 years he's earning $10.5. And then if he gets to his 7th year, he would make $12.5, which, unless some miracle happens, there is no way in hell that he will be playing for the New York Yankees in 2027.
Hey, I wouldn't be shocked.
You're right. He'll be in
Brian
Colorado.
Brian Cashman loves to stick by players. They say they got these numbers that proves to trust people because it worked one time with Nick Swisher. And it's just, DFA Aaron Hicks, fire Brian Cashman. Let's redo this thing because this is not working right now.
Yeah, no, it really is not. So, and I feel bad for you, but
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough, but
you're going to see me rocking an Aaron Hicks Rockies jersey in about 7 months. Next to my,
if he gets off the team, I'm okay with whatever. I mean, the shit that you made up out of your mouth was the craziest thing I've ever heard. But whatever happens, I'd be excited. You know what?
What do you think's gonna happen more? What do you think's happen more? Aaron Hicks stays with the Yankees or gets traded by the deadline, or in 3 weeks I'm in Seattle with Pops.
No one is trading for Aaron Hicks. Aaron Hicks is.
You never know.
Nobody's trading for Aaron Hicks. He's a poor defender now. He's a bad defender now. That he used to be at least solid in the outfield. Been absolute horseshit this year. Hitting a $143 with 2 RBIs, 0 extra base hits. Nobody's trading for that.
For 10,
I don't care. I don't care if we pay $20 million a year.
Yeah.
I don't care if we give them an extra $10 million. No team is going to trade for Aaron Hicks. That's what you DFA him.
No one would take. Let me rephrase that. No one would take him if the Yankees paid for his whole salary, like all the remaining contract.
If we gave them $20 million a year, so we pay his $10 million and give him an extra $10 million, no one's taking that.
Yeah.
Not even the Rays. They're too smart. I mean, that's half their payroll every year. And they're somehow out here kicking our ass. But they're too smart to make that trade. No one wants Aaron. Also because he's giving quotes to the media about he doesn't know his role and he's bitching and complaining. So he's not even good for the locker room. Like, he's not producing on the field. I'm getting fired up. We're going to talk about Aaron Hicks for 45 minutes if we don't move on to something else. But he's a bad locker room presence. He's bad on the field. He's awful at the plate. That nobody's trading for him. So whatever your question was going to be, whatever the next option is, it's more likely than Aaron Hicks getting traded because nobody's taking that contract for not shit.
Kasey.
Okay, so I retract my question.
Thank you.
Is it more likely that Aaron Hicks? Okay, here's a hypothetical. What's more likely? Aaron Hicks gets DFA'd before the trade deadline, or in 3 weeks I'm in Seattle, I'm wearing a Teoscar Hernandez jersey. What's more likely?
Teoscar Hernandez jersey, because you've had multiple months where you love him.
Yeah.
And again, Brian Cashman doesn't like to make changes. Like, he says, "Oh, things are going to work out," but
especially I feel like in the middle of the year, like, I feel like it would be hard for them to. I mean, obviously they could, and it does happen, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm leaning more toward Aaron Hicks.
Okay, well, I hope you're right.
Yeah. Once
I'm
again,
on board, but
we have video proof of you liking. I would even go as
let
far
me
as
tell
saying loving Teoscar Hernandez. And you,
Teoscar hits a walk-off homer in your first game up at the Electric Factory. You're buying a Teoscar jersey. You might rip it and burn it.
The game doesn't finish. You sprint to the team store to go buy one, and you put it on immediately.
Yeah, you might burn it in the top of the first the next game if he grounds into a double play or something, because it's been a roller coaster. But there's been love there. There's hope. There's hope.
It's more likely that I'm going to drink bleach than I would buy a
Tide Pod. No, I would just say...
I'm eating a Tide Pod before I rock Teoscar Hernandez.
I would just say I wouldn't burn the jersey, because after you sprint to the store, the team store, and buy a Teoscar Hernandez jersey, don't burn it the next day. If something bad happens, just throw it on the ground and stomp on it, because if you burn it, you will then regret soon after that you didn't just stomp on it, because if you just stomp on it, then you'll pick it up and put it back on, or be like waving it around, because you'll be loving them soon a few innings later again.
Not with this stat line where he produced 1 hit today, 1 walk, and was left on base. Super.
He got on base 2 times. How many plate appearances did he have? 4 at most?
4. No, max 5, but probably 4.
Yeah, like, that's a great outing. What the hell are you talking about?
Well, yesterday he had
a
4 plate appearance.
He went 3 for 4 with a double and a 5-run homer. In case
No, he didn't. He went.
It was 3 runs.
1 for 4 with a strikeout.
Well, 1 strikeout. Wow, 1 for 4. 250 batting average. So over the last 2 days, batting average.
Then Friday, this little bitch, Friday goes 1 for. Or no, I was looking at Eugenio. He goes 2 for 4 with a strikeout and some dumbass base running mistake.
He hit 500.
Interesting. So Kasey, what you have told me about this last weekend, what he has done. Give me his batting average again? It was 243, something like that.
For the season, 226.
226. Okay.
You said 2. Oh no, it was 143.
Yeah. So 226, and this is over his last 3 games. Extremely small sample size, but not huge, but a decent sample size for the season. Granted, I mean, that's 1/10 of the season practically sample size. playing just over 30 games, and his average in those 3 games is like 400 or better. 2 for 4, 1 for 3, and 1 for 3 or something. Like,
I would rather take Javier Baez.
Oh my gosh,
than Teoscar Hernandez.
Javi Baez, man.
I literally have no idea where this Teoscar. Like, he's a good. I don't get it. Like, he wasn't the most hyped player ever. Like, I don't understand. Your team's performing decent too. I literally don't know where this is coming from. But
you just don't understand. You don't understand. You just don't get it. I watched this dude. I watched this dude literally just tear like shit all over the AL East as a Blue Jay, and I'm like, dude, this guy's fucking great. I was hyped when we got him. I think we traded for him. I was ecstatic. He gets here. Him and Colton Wong both let me down.
First off, literally, I just tweeted at you the other day.
Here we go.
Yeah, because I got something to say about Colton Wong and Javi Baez. First, Javi Baez, because you brought that up.
What? That your team didn't want? Your team didn't want his bitch ass? Yeah, we don't want him either.
Oh, Colton Wong? No, not him.
I want his brother. His brother last night hit an absolute no. His brother last night. I was watching the Bees and the Rainiers, the affiliates for the Angels and the Mariners in Salt Lake, and Keen Wong hit an absolute fucking piss missile. Hit it out of Smith's ballpark. I'm sitting here thinking, how is this Wong in AAA and the other Wong is up in the major leagues fucking sucking ass, okay?
What position does he play?
They did second base. Literally the same position as his brother. And I'm sitting thinking to myself, they get the wrong. They put K Wong on like the sheet and they got just mixed up thinking like Colton's like, oh yeah, I made the team. Sorry, Keen. Like, no. Send Colton's bitch just out of trade. Send him to Double-A, bro. I don't want him in Tacoma. I want him literally in like Arkansas. He needs to be humbled. He needs to get his shit together. Is that where
your Double-A team is, or you just make up a state?
No, it's the Arkansas Travelers.
Okay.
Do you know your Double-A team?
Yeah.
You don't know your Double-A. No, who is it then, huh?
Springfield Cardinals.
Don't look it up.
Memphis Redbirds is AAA. Springfield Cardinals is AA.
Regardless, I want Colton Wong DFA'd. I want him back. I want him back on the Cardinals to be a part of that poverty franchise.
LOL. Come on, 11 championships. Don't get me going on that. You don't want to go there. We'll get talking championships, and then I'll be talking forever, and you won't have anything to say. But anyways, Javi Baez.
Kasey, real quick. Sorry, I just looked at this episode. Sure, quick fact check for you. Players currently hitting worse than Teoscar on the Mariners. Are you ready?
Colton Wong.
Please tell me.
Julio Rodriguez.
Yes, that's who I wanted to be on there.
Cal Raleigh. Colton Wong.
Thank you. About time someone's talking some damn sense.
Murphy. Caballero. Oh, no, not Caballero.
So, like,
Haggerty.
we talking the whole team?
La Stella. Trammell. Yeah, literally like half the team.
At least.
Yeah. So you didn't name? You know who you didn't name? Jared Kelnick.
Okay,
I did not.
I rest my case. I rest my case.
No, you're a big Julio honk. If we want to use the word honk like you love to use, you love Julio, and you're always talking him up. And I haven't heard much Julio
JP Crawford
talk
on that
recently.
Where's JP Crawford on that?
I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm going to Javi Baez real quick.
240, so barely better.
There we go.
Javi Baez, literally, I was sitting watching the Cardinals game the other day, first inning. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if it was Friday or Saturday. And I'm literally about to tweet. Like, literally, I pull my phone out, I pull up Twitter, and I'm like, Javi Baez is such a bitch ass. And I was about to send it, and I'm like, no, I better not. It's early in the game. Like, I don't want to. Literally, like, 2 pitches later, hits a 2-run home run. I'm like, man, good thing I did not send that tweet because I would have looked like an idiot. But I just want the world to know I'm just coming clean. I was racing that. I do not like Javi Baez, though. I think he's terrible. Probably stems from him being a Cub, and I hate the Cubs. But there's that. Also, what was the other thing we were going to talk about that?
Kasey, quick question for you as well. Who is currently the home run leader on the Mariners?
I'm pretty sure it's it's I think it's tied with.
It's a tie. It's a tie.
Yeah, it's Kelnick and Hernandez.
Yeah, are you fucking kidding me? What the hell? He's literally got tied for the most homers on your team. And Kelnick started off hot, so he's clearly cooling down.
Yeah.
And Teoscar's, I don't understand it. I don't know if we're ever going to understand it. So
we're not. But Colton Wong's the other thing. Colton Wong literally has been playing a lot better. And I saw all over Mariners Twitter this last week, oh man, Colt, this is the Colt Long we were wanting to see. Oh, he's turned around, he's playing better. Yeah, sure, his numbers aren't all there yet because he literally was like 1 for 35 to start the season. So it takes a while to come up from that. But Colt Long's turning around. He's more of a streaky player, but his defense doesn't disappoint. Can't speak for his brother.
I'd rather have Caballeros or that guy we brought up. He's better in the lineup than Colton Wong. I'm more happy seeing him and JP up the middle than I do JP and Colton Wong.
Yeah,
so I know Caballero's going to hit.
Rookies usually most of the time start somewhat decent because no one's seen them before and they don't know what their weaknesses are. But give them a month in the lineup, and then people are going to start to figure them out, and they usually struggle.
So when Colton Wong's batting 194 now, and he's batting like 130 now later in the month, and Caballeros is still hitting better than Wong.
I missed the first part. I don't know, but essentially you're saying the rookies hitting better still have Wong.
All right, we gotta get to some power rankings before we get to Homer.
Rankings aren't part of this.
Later.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, J-Rob, we both had rants. I mean, about specific players more than our teams. Anybody you want to complain about for your Cardinals currently, or?
You know what? I'm trying to take a more positive mindset on this on my rant. Not really rant, but just my spiel, I'll call it, at the end of one of our last episodes, where like being positive, what I'd say to the fans, be supportive, all those things.
Yeah.
First off, Cardinals got a win today. Broke up that 8 game losing streak. Thank goodness. And you know what was almost the worst part? Steven Matz, literally our worst pitcher, like by stats, but statistically our worst pitcher this year, pitched beautifully. 5 1/3 innings, 1 run, a few strikeouts, like a few hits, like literally pitched so good. His best outing by far in the year. We were winning 3-1 when he came out of the game. Literally like after the top of the 6th inning, because we're in St. Louis, so after they batted in the 6th inning. Do you know what the score was? Actually, no, I think it was the 5th inning when he came out. That's right, if you don't know. Oh, it was 6-3 because we somehow put some people on and they hit a grand slam. And so I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? This is literally the Cardinals season in a wrap right here. Is literally our pitcher goes 5+, does decently well. Like that's been the story the last couple weeks. And then our bullpen blows it up. Literally comes in. A pitcher came in. There was one guy on with 1 out. Nally or Nail or something. He's just got called up. He was up a little bit last year, but just got called up again this year for the first time. Put 2 runners on to load the bases and recorded 1 out. So he saw 3 batters, 1 out, gave up 2 hits or a hit and a walk or something like that. I don't know. But then Jojo Romero comes in and freaking gets the count 3-1 and then 3-2. And then he just cranks a home run into the visitors' bullpen like 413 feet to go up. Like, I don't know, I think it was 6-3, so maybe they gave up more runs before all that, but I don't know, it's just ridiculous. And it ended up obviously coming back and we won the game by a decent amount thanks to Paul Goldschmidt going 3 for 4 with 3 home runs. But I don't know, positive vibes. I think there's some good things. Question I want to put out there to the world and what all of Cardinals Nation is asking right now: what in the world is happening with Wilson Contreras? He's not even catching anymore. Like literally, it's been this whole series for the Tigers. He did not catch any game. Andrew Kisner's been in, and the biggest thing is this is just blocking room for our prospects because Nolan Gorman was DHing a ton, and he's like literally playing phenomenal. He's literally one of the better like hitters in the National League right now. Like especially when it comes to like OPS. Sorry, I am trying to look that up real quick. I don't know. Paul Goldschmidt's number 6 on that list with OPS, but he's freaking just insane. So I don't know. That's the thing. Cardinals need to figure some things out because not only does it block Nolan Gorman from playing, because then Tommy, if Nolan's going to go play second, Tommy has to play short. But Paul DeYoung's been back and is hitting pretty well, and then so either Tommy's out or Paul DeYoung's out, and they've been hitting well. Tommy or Brendan Donovan hit a 3-run bomb today. So, I don't know. A lot of things going on in St. Louis. They're scrambling. We'll see what happens. But that's all I got for the Cardinals. I don't want to get too much into it. Just a little crazy. Nolan Gorman's 40th at 857, which seems way down there, but I mean, he's like Nah, he's 7 down from Shohei Ohtani, to put that in perspective. So Shohei's 33 on OPS. Anyways,
I didn't know. Look, they currently have 3 less wins than every other team in the National League.
Yes.
Like they have 11 wins, and the Nationals and Rockies both have 14. Shout out Rocktober.
Rocktober, baby.
That's just wild to me. You like the Cardinals would be the 29th team I would pick to be there's a couple teams worse than them in the AL, but that's just shocking to me.
Yeah.
I know we talked about a couple podcasts ago what's like the most surprising or disappointing team so far. I can't remember who you tried to throw out. I think it was like the White Sox, maybe.
Yes, it was.
You're trying to distract from. Are you ready to admit that at least so far? I mean, granted, still a lot of season. They can turn it around.
That the Cardinals are the worst team in the league? Or what? Biggest disappointment.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. Oh, I'm searching real quick. Yes.
I mean, the Royals are awful. The Athletics are awful, but those were both expected. The Yankees are in 5th place, still above 500, though. And, like, technically, I mean, they're not that far out of the wild card right now. Freaking 10 back in the division because the Rays are absolutely disgusting. An 800 win percentage in 35 games into the season. Like, yeah, they're on pace to set some records if they can keep it up with 115 run differential, by the way, which is insane.
It's great. The whole NL East, every team in the NL East, or sorry, not NL, AL East has a positive run differential, which is crazy. But yes, I would at this moment, to this point in the season, how many games are the Cardinals in? 35 games into the season, the Cardinals are the biggest disappointment in baseball. And the reason I say that, like to your point, they have 3 less wins than any other team in the National League, behind the Washington Nationals, who are terrible and like are expected to be terrible, and we're below them by 3 wins. Same with Colorado, and then same with Cincinnati. I will say a positive, because the Pirates have been sucking and the Brewers haven't been great in their last 10. No one's been great in their last 10. Everyone is.
The Reds in your division are the best in the last 10 at 5-5. So
so we are 9 games
pulling away, which is promising.
We are 9 games away, or 9 games back in the NL Central, which we were at like a steady 10, only because the Pirates were continuing to lose, and so were we. But we won. The Pirates lost again, so we're making up ground in the Central, and all we got to do is win the NL Central to get in the playoffs, and then it's a whole new season at that point. But
hope is alive. Yeah, hope is alive. Yeah, what didn't you win the series one year? I think was that 06 when you won like 83 games or something.
That might have been 2011. 2011, we were 10.5 games back from, I think, a playoff spot, like in the middle or beginning of August. Like literally, we were so far back, and then we squeaked in the wild card game and won as a wild card team in 2011. So
maybe, yeah, I know it was one year when you guys had a ridiculously low amount of regular season wins and ended up winning it all, which is, I mean, that's definitely one of the benefits of playing in not the most competitive best division in baseball. That's for sure.
Yeah. But there was, and I'm looking up super quick. Oh, no. 2011, we were 90 and 72. So maybe it was 2006 that is even worse than that. But I also, another thing or another reason why the Cardinals, I say, are the biggest disappointment. And yeah, they're 83 and 78 in 2006 when we won.
That's insane.
Yeah. Another reason is, like, there's other teams like the Yankees are struggling, but they're still 1 game above 500, so that's not terrible. The whole rest of the AL East is good. I mean, the White Sox, sure, definitely playing under what they're expected, but to your point that you brought up the one time we were talking power rankings and I brought them up, they weren't expected to be as good as the Cardinals were, and the Cardinals are literally worse than where they're at. So, Cardinals, same thing. AL West is pretty much shaking up how we expected, in like the worse side, on the better side of like people exceeding expectations. Angels, in my opinion, doing better. Rangers doing better. Not the Texans. Not a team in the MLB.
The Rangers.
That's what I said. You clearly weren't listening, because I said it right and then said the Texans aren't a team.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, get off Twitter.
You literally just said.
He said not the Texans. He trolled himself.
Yeah,
but
I said that.
The double troll. I respect that. But yeah, I would say the Astros are a tiny bit disappointing so far for their division.
Yeah.
But I mean, they've got the Altuve injury, which is big, and they were good, so they've had a little downturn this week lately. But
they just had
500. So it's not
hell yeah, they did. They walked into the electric factory, thought they could unplug that shit again. Guess what? They only took 2 or 3, or they lost 2 or 3.
They only took 2 or 3 from us.
Yeah.
No,
they only won one in game.
I would say,
and it's because Teoscar's bitch ass cost us the game.
Okay, I would say the Phillies are a little bit of a disappointment as well.
Show some respect
for
Phillies.
All the moves they made and all the money they spent. Granted, not as much as the Cardinals, because the Cardinals are literally like 13 games under 500. The Phillies are 3 games under 500. So again, big difference. And then in the West, not much surprises there in regards to disappointment. So 100% can't say without a doubt Cardinals are the most disappointing team in baseball to this point. Again, 35 games in, but ask me at 70 games, boom. Call us the comeback kids. I'm not even gonna pull out the Kim Kardashian thing again. We all know how that went, and that's what it's gonna be. But I don't know. What, Kasey, tell me that series at the Electric Factory. Mariners, Astros. How'd that go?
Of course I will. Yeah. Well, the first game was a disappointment.
Well, okay, answer these questions. What were you expecting to happen? How were you expecting that series to go? Were you expecting Mariners sweep, Astros sweep, who does what? And then I'd assume you watched most of those games. How did you guys play? How did the Astros play? All that.
Well, we played like shit the first game. Teoscar didn't help us at all. I know it was a lot of heavy lifting between actually Colton Wong saved our ass in the first game. He had that bases were loaded and he had a double, clear the bases out.
Oh wow, shoot, weren't we talking about someone like that and someone with that same last name being terrible recently? Anyways, don't even worry about it. Keep going.
I mean, Keen Wong has better AAA numbers than Colton's major league numbers, but I'm not gonna go into that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into that. He's facing AAA pitchers instead of major league pitchers. It's the difference. But yeah, we're not gonna go into that. Keep going.
Hey, I mean, Jordan Walker is batting like a $110 in AAA since he went back.
Why do you think I haven't brought him up? Because he's playing like dog water.
So there's picked him for Rookie of the Year, by the way.
Yeah, there is still time. There is still time.
Anyway, so we lost game 1, and those gorgeous jerseys, those absolute Seattle masterpieces. Game 2, I actually didn't watch a ton of because I was.
Are we 9.9 now or 10 even?
Yeah, they're 9.8. We're getting there. Game 2, I didn't watch a lot because I was attending a live AAA baseball game, watching the better Wong ball out. We did get walked off though. The Rainiers did get walked off in extras. We got free baseball. We were in a suite. I was pounding glizzies, eating what else I had? Popcorn, peanuts. I bared the elements. Natalie did not bear the elements. She sat in the suite. It's mostly just my dad and I out there, kind of cold. But yeah, I practicing for Seattle when I go there the next couple weeks.
True.
Natalie, however, did not. She stayed in the suite, which was upsetting. They did win though. The Mariners won that night. I didn't get to see a Rainiers win, but the Mariners pulled it out. Watched some highlights. It was okay. Bryce Miller today went a solid. Actually, let me pull a stat. I think he went 6 innings, gave up maybe 1 or 2 hits, no earned runs. Let me hurry and pull this up for you. So, give our boy Bryce Miller. We'll get him on the pod soon. He'll get his first major league win today. His first MLB win. Let me see his stat line. So Miller went 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He's posting up at a .75 ERA right now. So Bryce Miller had a dazzling day. He's kind of turning into that guy we needed. Robbie Ray's out for the year. He's kind of filling those shoes a little bit better than Flex, and I think would have. We got a kind of a good young core there. I mean, the only game we lost this weekend with the Mariners was the day Castillo pitched, and he didn't look great either. The Astros jumped on him early. He did go, I think, 6-7 innings though. Even on getting up I think he gave up majority of the runs. He gave like 4 runs. Let me look this up for you. I want to give my respect to LaPedra. But yeah, Castillo went 7 innings, giving up 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and 1 home run. ERA at 2.38. So he's kind of coming back down to earth a little bit, but he still went 7 innings, which is surprising after how bad they started. I mean, you got to kind of let your guy go. Brash ended up taking the loss, but so it doesn't go against Castillo, but we'll take that. Overall, pretty good series. I kind of expected a sweep, to be honest with you. I think going in for Seattle, kind of coming sweeps? In. Yeah, because they had the momentum from when we played. Who did we play beforehand? We were in Oakland. We got some tough wins in Oakland. We battled against the Blue Jays where we went out to Oakland. So, and we came home obviously for the weekend series. So I kind of expected a win or a sweep, I guess. I'll take 2 of 3 against the Astros any day because it puts us at 500 now. We're tied for 3rd with the Astros in the division. And the Angels did lose the series against the Rangers this weekend, so that helps us in the standings. So overall, I mean, I'm not disappointed. I mean, obviously I wanted a sweep, but I'll take 2 of 3.
Very nice. I think one thing real quick, and then we'll wrap this up. Pittsburgh Pirates, I feel like I just got to bring that up. We were all hyped, and I think we all still are rooting for them and want the best for them. But they've just kind of gone downhill. They've literally lost 7 in a row. They have not won a game in the month of May. They lost their last game versus the Nationals.
They're on a 7-game skid right now.
They're on a 7-game skid. Lost their first game against the Nationals the last day of May, or last day of April, and then got swept by Tampa Bay in the juice box. Then at home, they got swept by the Blue Jays. Now they play the Rockies on Monday, so we'll see how they are. One of our big questions when the last podcast is kind of how would they fare against the better teams, because they hadn't played to that point a lot of great teams, and they had the 3rd best record in baseball, the 2nd best record in baseball. Obviously, losing 7 games in a row. They don't.
Hey, they have lost 7 games in a row, and they still have a half-game lead in the division.
You're right, and that tells you where the NL Central is right now.
Yeah, which didn't look great preseason.
Yeah,
that we thought the Brewers and Cardinals would be.
I still have them contending. I think, like we've talked about many times before, it's peaks and valleys. There's good skids and bad skids. I think they'll still be in the mix once I think October or September rolls around. They'll still be in the mix for, I think, the division at least. I don't know about the wild card, because I think the NL is so deep with teams that they won't, there's only, I think, 1 team coming out of the Central in both leagues.
Well, I think I think they'll be in the running for both division potentially and wild card, because even though I agree, there's probably only 1 team coming out of the Central. You still have the Phillies still haven't shown, even with Bryce Harper coming back, and granted he's not 100% healthy, he's they have him back, and that was their biggest missing piece, and they still haven't played super well. Not terribly, but there's still 8 games back. Granted, they're in the division with Atlanta, but Miami is the 2nd place team in that division, and I don't think that's going to stay that way. But the Mets and Phillies haven't played up to expectations. Mets being 3-7 in their last 10, Phillies being 4-6. So not great. And then the NL West also hasn't been any team that's stood out a ton. Dodgers have played a lot better recently, so they're kind of the one standout. But Arizona has played decent, kind of fallen off. Padres still haven't played extremely well. But I expect both those teams to come out. I don't know. If there's only the Dodgers and Padres coming out of the West, which right now I think that's all that will, and you have Atlanta coming out of the East, and then you have the NL Central winner, that's still 2 spots that, as of right now, I don't know who is going to be the 2nd and 3rd wildcard teams. So I think Pirates will still be in the race, but I don't think they make the playoffs. Go for it.
Pete, I got something to tell you. Okay, I'm looking at this right now, and my initial thought when I'm looking at the AL wild card race, as it stands today, if the playoffs ended today or started today, excuse me, the Rays win the division, the Rangers win the division, the Twins win the division, and your 3 wild card teams are the Orioles, Blue Jays, and Red Sox. And you're not even the next in line. Next in line is the Angels, and then the Yankees, and then the Astros, and then the Mariners.
Interesting.
Quick question. I want you to know something. We are only a half game out of your spot. We're only a half game behind you in the wild card.
Which is interesting because, I mean, as you mentioned, literally the 4 best records in the AL belong to AL East teams. So clearly we're the cream of the crop, and it's not even a close comparison. But the Yankees are going to get better because, A, we're going to get healthier. We're going to get Judge back. We're going to get Stanton back.
They're going to DFA Aaron Hicks.
We're going to not, unfortunately, DFA Aaron Hicks. But once we're healthier, we're not going to see him that often, which will help. So, I mean, the Yankees, I'm not worried at all because we're going to get healthier. We're going to get better. I don't expect the Red Sox to continue to play this well. The other teams I do expect to continue to play this well. So, Rays are going to win the division. Like, I'm convinced at this point. We're 35 games in, but they're getting they don't have a weakness so far. It's disgusting. Yeah. But, I mean, Red Sox will fall off. Blue Jays have peaks and valleys. So, they're going to get cold again at some point. They won 3 in a row, but they're 5-5. So they were 2-5 before. So they don't have, and I think we actually honestly match up well when we play the Blue Jays. So they don't scare me, and also the O's. So I'm not super worried, but yeah,
LOL. How insane would it be if 4 playoff teams came from one division? Like, that would be wild.
I mean, at this point, I would expect that's going to be what happens because, I mean, well, I don't know.
You might get 2 out of the West.
Yeah. You'll for sure get 3 like playoff team. I think you'll get 1.
Yeah, it'll be an absolute shocker. I think there's not 2 wild cards out of the East. Yeah, like we mentioned, they literally have the 4 best records in the AL right now.
Yeah, I just think, especially now because the schedules are all even, like you play every team or whatever, now more than ever would be the time that you could get 4 playoff teams out of one division.
And I do think that benefits the AL East the most because they always, have had the Rays, the Red Sox, and the Yankees who are good literally every single year since 2007 when the Rays finally stopped being a joke of a franchise. Shout out, they actually also wore their Devil Rays throwbacks this weekend, and those things were sick.
I love those, yeah.
And they remind me of the good old days when they just sucked ass. And those, 15
easy dubs,
yeah. So miss those days, but and now the Blue Jays the past couple of years have been good. Orioles are so it's like it used to be 4 good teams. You're 3 good teams you're facing. Now this year it would be 4. So I think that's going to benefit the AL East the absolute most. And just like a quick, because it's kind of surprising right now to me. I was looking at the standings. So far, most teams are there's 5 teams that have above a 600 winning percentage right now. The Blue Jays, the Orioles, the Rays, the Braves, and the Dodgers. Literally everyone else.
Rangers 606.
Okay, so there's 6, and literally half of them are from the AL East, and the Red Sox are just below that, and the Yankees are also above 500. So. I think that's going to benefit, especially over the long run of the season, because the Yankees have actually played a decent amount of games in the AL East so far. And we're about to play the Rays for 4 more times, so they're going to beat our ass again, unfortunately. But, I think over the long run of the season, when we get to play more Rockies, shout out Rocktober, more White Sox, shout out Tim Anderson, friend of the pod. So I think that's absolutely going to benefit the AL East over the long run of the season. When we get a pick on these other teams and take advantage of those wins, like the Pirates, like we talked about, were looking great until they played the AL East, right? And then the AL East just kind of kicked their ass.
Yeah.
And obviously, I don't think the Pirates will lose every game versus the AL East, but I think that's going to be a huge benefit for the AL East is getting to play not the AL East as much because they're just ridiculously stacked right now.
Yeah. When with my calculations, 800 winning percentage is winning 130 games. So that's what Tampa Bay.
Kasey.
Yeah,
tattoo's still in play.
That is what they're on pace for right now. Do I personally think they're going to reach that? No. But you know what? To have an 800 win percentage, 35 games into the season, a month plus into the season, that's honestly really impressive. So good for them.
At this point, if they get over 110, won't surprise me.
Yeah. Like they would have to go
130 would surprise me, but
yeah, they would have to have a stretch, like a long stretch of games where they play very poorly and lose a lot of games for them not to win over, like, for sure over 100 or even 105 or 110. Like, it would just be insane. So, but closing remarks, what do you guys got? Go M's.
Go M's. And I want to give a shout out to our good friend of the podcast, Teoscar Hernandez. Even though we have our differences,
there's 2 or 3 of us, and a roller coaster friend of someone else.
Even though we butt heads, I do appreciate him leading the team with home runs. I do appreciate that from him.
Okay. That's beautiful. But just like we stated at the beginning of the episode, you were hating on him, and we said you'd come around, and here it is. So another
I haven't come around.
Another reel of Kasey going back and forth on Teoscar Hernandez.
He's gonna get to Jersey. He'll be wearing it at some point on the pod. I almost guarantee. He might rip it off halfway through the pod. But that'll be another clip we make.
Seriously, Pete, what do you got?
DFA Aaron Hicks, chase for 28.
That we need to get that as like a trending hashtag on Twitter or something. Maybe that's what we'll work on the next couple days. Trending hashtag DFA Aaron Hicks, or just DFA Hicks to keep it short. But
George loves Aaron Hicks.
He doesn't actually.
He's going crazy. He's like, get him out of here. We hate Aaron Hicks.
He's almost hates him as much as I do.
Well, that's good. Good dog. But we appreciate you guys sticking around. All I got to say is Cardinals won on Sunday, 1 today. That means we're on the way up. We're improving. We're doing better. That's better than the 8 games we lost in a row before that. At least we're not at 9 losses in a row. So we're looking at the bright side. This is a sunny side up egg. So let's go get it. Go Cardinals. Chase for 12 doesn't sound as good as chase for 28, but it's better than chase for 1. So let's go Cardinals. And we will see you guys next time on the Broken Bat Podcast. We appreciate you guys listening. If you guys haven't already, please scroll up, hit that follow button. We'd greatly appreciate it. But we're out.